Hi there guys, Mobro here. I haven't created a video in a while and I do want to get back into it. It's just been really busy. The last video that I created, what I did was I plotted the sunrise and sunset times over the earth using current existing formulas, and I plotted it on top of two different maps. One was this rounded version and the other was this rectangular version. So this rounded version has the North Pole in the middle and along the edges is the South Pole, and here the North Pole is at the top and the South Pole is at the bottom. And if you haven't seen my videos where I generated these maps, they'll give you a good understanding of why countries look the way they do on the two different maps. But in this video, what you're seeing here is a red dot representing the sun. So at 12 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time on August 1st, 2016, the sun would be overhead in Africa, and it's at the 0 longitude mark. And here you're seeing the exact same thing. You're seeing the sun on top of areas of Africa, and it's at the 0 longitude mark. And on the latitude scale, it's on the 15-degree mark here, and it's the exact same thing here. If you follow the lines, it's at the 15-degree longitude. So exact same position on both maps. As far as distribution of the sunlight, you'll see that even though the sun is overhead in areas of Africa, it's shining towards the middle of China, and on this side it's shining towards Canada, United States, and Mexico. Is cutting through there, and you can see down here a tip of Argentina is in darkness, and most of it is in light. And that's the exact same thing here. You're seeing it cut through those three countries, and the tip of Argentina is in darkness and most of it is in light, and here also is passing through the middle of China. So exact same representation. All the areas in black are in darkness right now, and if you were to compare the areas in darkness, you'll see that they're exactly the same. Areas in sunlight, if you compare those, they would be exactly the same. Alright, so I'm just going to simulate one complete cycle for a 24-hour period, so I'll just run that now. Alright, so each time you're seeing a change, an hour is going by. So as the sun moves across the 15-degree latitude mark, it's taking the sunlight with it. Okay, so you can see now areas of India would begin seeing the sun rising and will be at the horizon, and on this side areas of Canada and United States, the sun will be setting and it will be at the horizon for them. And on this side, exact same thing. Right now it's approaching Africa again, and that's exactly where it is here. So areas on this side are seeing the sun rise, and areas on this side are seeing the sun set. Okay, same thing here. Areas on this side will see the sun rise, and areas on this side will see the sun set, okay, at the various angles. So all these countries would simultaneously see the sun setting. Alright, so that's one full day. Now I want to show you the entire year. We're going to start from January 1st, 2016. So I'll just run through that. So that's how it would look in January. You'll see that the sun is beginning to fade away from these particular areas. You can see it's disappearing. Right now we're in February, and what you're noticing with the sun is it's moving across the latitude scale. So right now in February it's getting closer towards the equator. In March, I believe it's at the equator. You see now almost half of the earth is illuminated, and that's exactly how it is here. As the sun gets closer to the North Pole, there's more compression going on. So remember, if you remember my previous the maps that I generated, I showed you that countries that are closer to the inner circle here, they would appear more compressed because longitude lines are converging towards the center of the map, and that's exactly what you're seeing with sunlight. As the sun moves closer to the Tropic of Cancer, like in June, for example, it's bringing the sunlight tighter in, so it's compressing the sunlight to be like a spotlight. And as the sun right now the sun is beginning to move back towards the Tropic of Capricorn, and you'll see the sun is the sunlight is spreading out, and the reason it's spreading out is because because remember when I showed you that Australia looks stretched because it's closer to the South Pole, and that's exactly what's happening here. The sun is moving closer to the South Pole. It's moving towards the equator and Tropic of Capricorn, and therefore the sunlight itself is getting stretched out. Also, so that in effect shows you the inaccuracy of representing sunlight or even maps in this way, because it skews even the sunlight. It's coming to a point, and that sounds odd because the shape of the sun is not changing, but it's creating pointy areas on the earth, and that it's actually not creating pointy areas on the earth. It's just the way it's represented on this map. So if you were to look at the earth, it would be always a uniform shape, like the sunlight would always be the same shape. The only thing that's changing here is the position on the latitude scale. Okay, the time is not changing, so the only thing that's being affected here is the position of the sun, and no matter what the position of the sun is, it should not cast a different type of a sunlight on the earth. It should always be the exact same. So I just wanted to show you that. Hope you find that interesting. You can pause the video at on any day and compare the data and see how it compares to each other, and also you can compare it to other sources that you have to see if you see any inaccuracies. But to me, in my opinion, there is no difference between these two maps. They are representing the exact same thing. So even on January 1st, 2017, you can see there's some pointy parts here and here, and that's the same pointy parts here, and that just shows that both of these maps are exactly the same. Both of them are just as inaccurate. So as the maps get more accurate, the sunlight also will be depicted more accurately. If you've seen the flat Earth map, that's from 1892, you see two pictures at the bottom. One is for winter solstice, and one is for a summer solstice. You saw the sunlight appearing as a spotlight, and it actually does appear as a spotlight during those 2 months, but as you progress along the year, the sunlight appears more like this. Okay, and that has to do with the scale that it's on. So sunlight is being pushed out along the edges because the sun itself is closer to the Tropic of Capricorn. All right, so I hope you find that interesting. If you have any comments, please let me know. If there's any faults that you see, I'll correct them. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.